Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Everything You Love. I'm super excited today to bring on a very special guest, Lord Jason Hager, somebody I've been meaning to catch up with for a long time, co-founder of Chimaira, and axe slinger extraordinaire. How you been, Sergeant?
I've been pretty good, just living the dream.
Living the dream, which is you're a tattoo artist, right?
Yeah.
Got the ink to prove it?
Yeah.
You did your first tattoo yourself. You gave it to yourself, you said, right?
Yeah, I did a stupid little stick and poke, with a needle, and I couldn't find the right ink to do it with. I had to use that cheap ink you fill stamp pads with. So
broke
luckily,
a pen open? Oh,
you may as well have.
Wow.
But yeah, luckily it faded a year later because it was this stupid stick figure spider looking thing.
I think I remember that. So it's since covered up with something,
Oh yeah.
But you're staying busy doing a lot of work.
Yeah, staying steady. So
that's
can't
good.
Complain.
So we didn't catch up much before this because I wanted to catch up on camera here, but we couldn't help it. As you came through the door, we talked about a few things. You're not playing much music anymore, but you want to, you said, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I was doing the Years of Fire thing for a while, it just got so disheartening,
Years of Fire was Jason's band after Chimaira. How many years after you left Chimaira? We're going to talk about all that. Starting Chimaira, leaving Chimaira, all that. But
I don't know, less than 10 because we...
10 years?
Well, no. After leaving Chimaira, yeah, it was maybe between, maybe a little over about 5 years afterwards.
Okay.
But it was everything changed, record industry wise from when we signed in Chimaira to that point. Everything got so much harder, and just a constant revolving door of musicians that couldn't really do it, which me of all people, I understand. But I mean, it was never we never tried to be at a professional level of Chimaira, but it
just wanted to kind of keep it local.
Yeah, it just got very disheartening, and it just started to feel like a shitty job. So it's just that's when I was you know what, it's just time to just throw in the towel. Well, I haven't really played guitar since, and that was when I started tattooing, which was between 10 and 11 years ago.
And you said you sold off most of your gear, just kept going?
I have one guitar right now, so.
Sold your RA600, I hear, huh?
Sorry, I had to, man.
Hey, shit happens sometimes, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But let's go through that timeline.
It's either that or sell myself, and it's
who's buying, right? Mm-hmm. But let's go through that timeline. I'm interested, just kind of starting from the beginning and then hearing about Years of Fire, which after you left Chimaira, you still had the itch, but you left Chimaira because you were having a son and you had to be a father and all that. But after he had grown up a little bit, you could do music again, and so you were able to, but...
Well, I mean, even that, it's I couldn't put in the time that which was why I left Chimaira, because it's metal bands don't have huge radio hits, it's so we'd have to be on the road all the time, and it's I didn't want to be on the road all the time when I had a son at home, growing up without knowing me.
Yeah. And and that had to be the toughest decision ever, because you were just a band guy, wanted to do music and metal through and through, and then you did it. You started a band, Chimaira, you got it signed to Roadrunner, all that kind of stuff, and then you had to leave it. So let's work up to that.
Yeah.
First, I'd like to say that when I was probably, 15, 16, Arnold and I were playing in a band around Cleveland, and we would go to local shows, and Ascension were big dogs in the city, not around in Cleveland, Mark and Jim had Skipline, who were also a Strongsville band where Arnold and I were from, but Ascension, we would go see them, and I didn't know any of those guys. I knew of Mark and Jim because they went to the same high school and stuff, even though they were a little bit older too. But we'd go see Ascension, me and my buddies and Arnold and stuff like that, and you guys were just the shit. Seriously. First of all, you just had this vibe and image about you. There was just this evilness, and where it's just this aura for a young kid where we were whoa, those guys are awesome.
Was it the 666 on my bass?
Yeah, I mean, you had that. I knew you were
psychotic.
Yeah, their singer was just a maniac on stage, super nice guy off the stage, but on stage he was just crazy. And all those riffs, which I know you had a lot to do with writing the riffs too, but so many of those riffs and that style and everything that made its way into Chimaira that so many people enjoy originated with Ascension, and all of us from Cleveland were Ascension fans. bands. And it was just exciting to go see those shows. And I looked up to you guys so hard, that Odeon show and everything, just seeing you on that big stage. I thought the Odeon was huge at that time. You know, like when you're young, you're going to your first shows that you thought it was a massive place. But then Ascension broke up and Sanctum had folded and all that. And I was just working at Pizza Hut. And I heard that my friend AE was in this new band with Jason Hager and Mark Hunter from Skip Line. And I was like, no shit, that's awesome. I can't believe that. And I was jealous. I was like, man, I'd love to be, because I wasn't doing music. I was just working at a restaurant. And I kind of figured, I'm just gonna work and see what happens and stuff. But I also heard you guys, it was gonna be like a Deftones thing. And I was kind of like, all right.
Yeah, some kind.
Well, but tell us about, you guys started out, you said, I want to do this for real, you and Mark. How'd you guys start talking about it? How'd you get the band together and all that sort of stuff?
Well, after I quit Ascension, because I was playing bass in Ascension, and it was fun and all, but it's like,
oh yeah, he was playing bass in Ascension. Matt DeVries was the guitar player, but you were a guitar player at heart.
Yeah, okay. So it's like I wanted to play bass guitar is like my main instrument in a band. You know, bass would be fun as like a side project, and it was just, you know, very firm that Ascension was a one guitar band, you know? So it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave and start my own thing. And then, you know, like I saw Mark at the Euclid Tavern. I'm like, dude, I wanna like put together this band, you know, and like these are like the influences, and would you wanna sing? He's like, yeah, definitely. So it took a while to like really come together, because I think he,
it's probably like 97, 98?
Yeah, about 90, 97, 98.
Okay.
And then we already had like Jason Gennaro, you know.
Original Chimaira drummer, Jason Gennaro.
Because like me and him played together in that little hardcore band, and then Mark, and he brought in AE, and
original Chimaira bass player, AE, and high school friend of Andals and I.
Yeah, and then originally our lead guitar player was supposed to be my one friend. His name was Josh Richards, but he was going through some medical issues at the time, because he had like it was a benign tumor like in his brain, and he's just like, I don't think I'll be able to do this, you know, just got all this going on. But then AE's like, well, I've got this friend Rob, so you came down and, you know, shooting the shit and whatnot, and then you ended up being the lead guitar player. And after a while, we were having some differences of opinion with Jason Gennaro, and you were like, man, you know, my friend that played drums, I think he played drums with you in Sanctum, right?
Yeah.
It's like my friend, I don't even know if you were calling him Andals at that point yet. my friend, and I'm like, all right, well, let's try him out. And then then we decided like, oh, fuck, we gotta fire Gennaro. And then, so we had that talk with Gennaro, and we made Mark do it, because none of us wanted to deal with it.
Gennaro was a lefty and a single foot player. Like, he didn't play any double kick, and we definitely wanted double kick in Chimaira.
But yeah, and then Andals came in, and I remember like the first thing that, because I forget who ever asked me, he's like, what do you want to hear him play? I'm like, Demanufacturer. That dude played that thing like a damn machine, flawless. I'm like,
yeah,
you're in.
Yeah.
Like, and then, yeah, from there, and then, I mean, that's how the original lineup, like, became solid, you know?
Yeah.
Like, then, I know you briefly talked about this on the episode with Jim, but then, you know, AE, like, you know, his parents wanted him to go to school and college and all that stuff, so he had to leave, and then we got Rob Lesniak for a while. And, but I mean, ultimately Jim was the right choice for the band, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, so there's no regrets there, you know? It's just like, we all knew each other. It's just...
Yeah, Mark and them had that great relationship, you know, and he had that charisma and that energy and stuff. But I want to back up and ask you a little bit, like, so when I first came down and joined the fold, what was that like for you? Like, what was your impression of me in the sense that you were about to just relinquish? You know, it's a big thing. All right, I'm going to let this guy join the band here. that I've never met, I don't know anything about and stuff. But I was blown away too when I first came down and first heard you guys. And it happened just so quickly. All of a sudden I got a phone call from Mark one day. He's like, yeah, your buddy AE said that you play. We're looking for another guitarist. You want to jam with us? I'm like, sure, go down there. I remember hearing you guys play songs for me and thinking, this stuff is awesome. It's right up my alley. I want to play stuff like this. And like there wasn't any tryout or anything. I was just kind of like in the band or whatever.
Yeah.
And so what was that like?
Well, for me, it was just like, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but we didn't have a whole lot of options like beating down our door. But it's like, I heard enough about you that's like, all right.
I didn't realize there was any hype about me.
I mean, well, it's just like, it's like you knew AE, it's like,
okay, yeah.
Before what became the final like lineup, the only person I knew were Mark and then Jim, Like I didn't know you before that. I didn't know AE or Andals or Spacuza, nobody. But so it's just like, I trust these guys. If they say he's awesome, And I don't know, they're right.
Yeah.
I think our guitar, not to blow smoke up your butt, but yeah, they're right, man.
I think our styles meshed really well. I like the riffs you guys were playing, obviously, and I loved Ascension, like you said. I think it was just kind of that Cleveland sound of riffs,
And granted, we didn't really do any solos in the band when like I was in there, because it was like it's on the height of the new metal thing, But
yeah, we really didn't even until the Impossibility of Reason.
Oh, dude, I was so mad when I heard that. I think I told you about that, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, it's just like our styles clicked, and I remember like after a while you telling me about that, and it's just like about how you were when like meeting me, and it's like, why? Why are you excited to meet me? But I was stoked. Yeah, I'm a really socially awkward person, man, and it's like I'm intimidated easily, like when joining up with new musicians I'm gonna play with, I'm intimidated by them, and even in tattooing, if I tattoo another tattoo artist, I'm like the whole time, oh my God, don't mess up. But yeah, so it's just
I don't remember you being overly warm and hey, welcome or anything, but you I think you showed me respect, and stuff, so that was cool, it was all good.
I mean, I can always
off right away.
I mean, I can always be quiet and standoffish when I'm meeting new people that I don't know about. It's just like being socially awkward and just not knowing somebody, so it's like, I mean, I think you've realized as time went on that I've got a pretty out there sarcastic sense of humor, so it's just I don't want to rub people the wrong way right off the rip, so it's like I don't know, so. But
I remember the first song hearing you guys play was Empty, which for some reason it didn't make it on This Present Darkness, but it came out on the re-release of This Present Darkness as part of the Dehumanizing Process DVD.
Yeah.
And
no, I think it was on This Present Darkness.
Empty was not.
It was. I think it was a bonus track.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Was it a bonus? No, it was on there.
But I just happened to look. There's only 5 songs listed, but maybe Satan's Wizard and Empty were later tracks or something.
Might have been.
So, but yeah, I remember too that. So there's that riff. The main riff. After kind of the first verse, I come in with that little harmony. And I remember that being a moment where you guys were like, hey, that's cool. And I remember feeling my first dose of acceptance, oh, they like something I wrote or something for this. That's cool. And then just started writing a lot. We just started writing more. I remember writing Let Go With You and stuff, getting on the drums.
It was it was awesome because before I started working with you, it's I was just kind of a riff guy, and it's but you can hear that and in Empty, it's just there's not a real solid structure to that song. I mean, except for that, that first main verse area, then after that the song's just everywhere, and it's it's kind of how we wrote in Ascension. And then after working with you, you taught me more song structure and not just writing a riff, writing a whole song, or how to build a song off of a riff and stuff like that. And it's just I think we worked well where I'd come up with a riff or two, and then you just built off of it and just
knew how to string them together. Or
yeah,
something.
It's awesome, and which helped me a lot too. In with Years of Fire and stuff like that. It's that's some of my favorite stuff I've written. Not that I dislike anything else, but it's because of like the actual songwriting that I learned from you. You know, it's just like, it wasn't me just writing riff after riff after riff. It's like I'm building songs, you know, and it's like.
That's cool. I don't even know that I knew much about songwriting then. I think it was probably just learning from Ben as well too, because, you know, Ben Schigel at Spiderwork in there, you know, he's a great songwriter and stuff, and just probably just picked stuff up like that.
We're all still like pretty young. I mean, I was still the oldest one in the band at that point. I think I was like
the elder statesman.
Yeah, I think I was like 27. I mean, looking back now, that's young.
Right.
But yeah, you know, we're all still pretty young, and so, I mean, we still had a lot of learning to do, you know, it's just like.
So we got the lineup together. Spacuzza comes over, we get Andals, me, you,
Spacuzza
Mark.
wasn't on the on Present Darkness.
But by the time we got Jim, that he was.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that. So we're playing shows, jump forward, we get the record deal, we go out to record Pass Out of Existence. At what point did you find out that, okay, my girl's pregnant and I got to start thinking about what I'm going to do?
Well, after we wrapped up the recording process and we came home, like, I mean, we were home for a while before we went out on road with, we went out and tore Spine Shank. I think we were home for about a month and a half or so.
Okay.
And it was a week before we left to go on that tour that, like, I found out she was pregnant, which was actually like a day or two after her and I got married. Because I called all you guys. I'm like, what are you doing tonight? Got married. Come on over. Yeah, a couple days later, we find out she was pregnant. I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong, greatest thing that's ever happened to me, but most inopportune moment or timing ever. But yeah, so it's like when we were out on the road doing that, it was a struggle because, I mean, I was fighting with her like daily, and I was like, you know, it's like, as a metal band, we're gonna be unless we're at home writing an album, we're gonna be on the road pretty much nonstop, you know, like with maybe a day or two randomly, you know, and it's like not how I wanted to raise my son, you know. It's like, you know, I didn't want him to grow up like not really like forming like a close bond at like an early age, you know. And it's like
very tough decision to make because lots of guys do it.
It was,
you know, but I don't know that I could either, you know. But what a decision. You had finally made it to this point of the mountain, and now to have to close it down. And
because at first, like, the decision was that I was just gonna, you know, take some time off, you know. But then I'm just like me and you had talked, and like, you probably don't remember the conversation, but like, and it's not like you were like saying you should probably quit, but it was just like, would you be able to go back on the road having a baby at home? And it's like, the more I thought about that, I'm just like, no, I wouldn't, you know. And then like, I remember this like it was yesterday. Like, we played a show in Colorado Springs, and before the show, like, I called Matt, and I'm like, because I'm like, man, if I'm gonna quit, it's like, I don't want to leave him high and dry, you know. I don't want to have to worry about how long it's gonna take for them to find somebody new and all this stuff. And I asked Matt, I'm like, dude, if I do this, do you want the spot? And it's like, because, dude, I've been friends with Matt, you know, since I was like 18, you know. We played together, and it's like, I knew his playing, you guys knew his playing, you knew him on a personal level. I'm like, it's like, because I'm gonna be quitting, and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm gonna refer them to take you if you want this. And it was one, because it's like, one, I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry, and two, it's just like, I've known Matt for so long, and it's just like, you know, it's like, if I'm gonna hand over the opportunity that, like, I worked so hard to help with, it's like, I want it to be somebody that's gonna like appreciate it, you know. And it's just like,
totally.
And like, you know, nobody deserved it more than Matt, you know, out of the people that I personally knew, you know. So
yeah.
And once he said yeah, then I talked to you guys about it, and so
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was my last tour.
Appreciate you setting it up like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
that's
everybody
what I do.
It was a good choice. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's perfect fit too, you know.
Commendable of you on all levels. You made the right choice as a father, and you set us up with.
Like you said, it was. I mean, I
player.
knew it was the right choice. I knew it was the choice I had to make. Definitely wasn't the easiest choice in the world, because our very last show was at the Whiskey in LA, and dude, I had a complete total breakdown, like backstage, like because this was it, you know. But it's like it was worth it though, you know.
20 years now. Your son's healthy and 20 years old.
Yeah,
right?
he'll be 20 in January, and you know, dude,
Cool.
he's a great guitarist.
I was gonna ask you. Interest in music. That's
He's
awesome.
way better than I ever was.
Really?
He plays guitar, he plays bass, and you know, it's like he's really, really good, you know.
Cool. That's awesome, man.
So, you know, he's got a wide range in his musical taste, you know, which is awesome because it makes him a more well-rounded musician, I think. But sorry, it's not, you know, I'm just a smoker.
Right.
But yeah, so everything's good with that, you know. It's like
life throws unexpected things at you, and you roll with it, and here we are today to talk about it. You know.
I mean, you know, can't complain, you know.
So why were you mad about the impossibility of reason?
Oh, because like you probably don't remember it, but I told you this, like, because like whenever Chimaira finished a new thing, like a new record, you'd always play me like the new record. Whenever I recorded something new, I'd always play it for you because I wanted your honest opinion. And you don't candy coat things. If you think something sucks, you're gonna tell me it sucks. And not meaning to hurt my feelings, but you're not gonna lie to me.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember telling you, it's just like, man, you know, I wanted to hate this so bad because I wasn't on it, but I just hate that I'm not on it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do remember
just
that now.
like-
Yeah.
It's like, why couldn't we have playing this from day one? You know, like, but you know, it's just like, we were playing the stuff that we liked playing, like we did Pass Out, but I think we did fall a little too into what the labels want from us without selling out our morals musically, but
You are an indirect contribution to Impossibility of Reason, without a doubt. Never would have happened without Pass Out, without Present Darkness, without any of that, you know? So
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not any consolation.
do I get royalties on it?
Sorry, I got to talk to Mark. But you know, but no, man, I hear you. That's no consolation, you know, that to not be a part of it or whatever. But in spirit, you certainly were.
No, I mean, like, I was always like, even though it sucked that I wasn't a part of it anymore, it's just like, it did feel, you know, it's like, I'm always like proud of all the accomplishments, like even after I left the band, because it's like, even though I'm not in the band anymore, it's just like, I was a part of this monster, you know, and it's, even watching Metalocalypse when they pull up to Chimaira Mart, I'm like, I made it, like my band names. But, you know, it's like, you know, like I'm always, I was proud of everything, you know, like I always got excited to like hear like the new stuff, you know, and it's like.
Did you come up with a name? I know you came up with a logo.
We were having such a hard time coming up with a name, and like Mark had like this whole list of just names that sounded cool, and I'm like looking at him like, what's this? He's like, oh, it's this mythological monster. I'm like, that's metal as hell. So we just kind of both just were like, yeah.
But you didn't see it in like a metal font, right? It was just like Times or something, right? I mean,
yeah, it was just a normal font that he printed out.
But just seeing that word, you thought it looked metal.
Yeah, just the word itself sounded metal.
Dude, I'll tell you, I don't know if I ever
And it
told
was
you
like
this
a
or not.
mythological creature, you know, so.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but when that first phone call I got from Mark, I asked him, and he said, do you want to just jam and see what happens and stuff like that? And I asked him, what's the band name? And he said Chimaira. And it's almost like I was expecting him to say something I wasn't going to like, and he didn't. He said that, a word I had never heard before in my life, and I went, huh, that's pretty cool. I was pleasantly surprised. I was expecting something bad that I was going to be like, oh, that sucks, or something like that, you know. But I was like, yeah, that's a cool name. You know, it proved to be a thorn in certain aspects because it's hard to pronounce and hard to spell. You know,
honestly, I think we've like mispronounced it all these years. But,
Maybe.
Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, we've
It's
made
good
it more,
enough for
more
metal.
popular than the beast itself, right? So,
Yep.
okay.
But yeah, and then, you know, just because I was also going to school for graphic design at the time, so I was just messing around with stuff, you know, and it was like, I saw that was just a font, and I just printed out real small, blew it up real big on the Xerox machine. It came out all crappy looking. I'm like, that looks metal.
Cool.
And then
I saw a little write-up you did recently about Present Darkness, like with Mark and Monty from Roadrunner or something like that. That was cool.
Andals is our cover boy.
That's right. Yeah, the cover of Present Darkness is Andals. That's so weird, you know. But okay, so you moved on from the band. We're going one direction. You're raising your boy, and you still want to do music. Are you tattooing at that time?
No, I just started putting together Years of Fire.
Cool. And Years of Fire was the name of the first Ascension record.
Yes.
Which everybody needs to check out Ascension. I'm telling you, it was ahead of its time, and it's timeless. Ascension was the first record, or no, Years of Fire was the first record. Abomination was the second record.
Yeah.
And
those were the only two records.
Those are the only two. They're both incredible, and you can definitely hear, like, you guys, your guitar playing, and then those riffs and stuff, you hear all over Chimaira stuff. Songs like Needle, The Dehumanizing Process, a lot of those dun 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 type stuff. Weird transitions, like that I think of as weird transitions, kind of like an Empty.
Yeah.
Where there's like a half of a beat missing. And you guys didn't know that you're doing that. It just sounded cool.
Yeah.
But Andals, the rhythm police, would be like, why is there half a beat missing here? Or something like that.
It sounds sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like trying to play that the other night, I'm like, the hell was I thinking? Like, you know, like I knew nothing about songwriting, clearly.
Let's go over a couple of those riffs. What do you think?
Sounded awesome at the time, though.
Yeah, because I think because it was natural.
It's like, but you know, it's like I've always been one of those people that, like, whether it's like music or tattooing or painting or drawing, it's just like, I don't follow like these like guidelines you're supposed to be following. It's like I just do whatever feels good or looks good, or, you know, it's like.
All right, guys, so Hager's using the bathroom right now. I'm going to try to get him to suit up, play some riffs. Maybe we'll play some Empty, like I was talking about before. Maybe we'll hear some Ascension riffs. I don't know. Ascension was in standard tuning, and most of my guitars are in drop. Maybe I have some standards. We'll see what happens. Can't promise anything, but he claims he's rusty, and we'll put him to the test. All right, so yeah, don't feel any pressure. We can cut it out. We can fix anything up too, and anything, you know. It's all good. I thought maybe, you know, we could play a couple Empty riffs if you remember any of those. Maybe can you break out any Ascension riffs for us?
Oh my God.
Are those in standard?
Yeah, those are standard. I don't think we even used a tuner, so I couldn't tell you if there are any D
tuner.
Like so, but yeah, we try.
Check this out here. Grab the old RA3 here. You had an RA600, you said, right?
I did.
This is what they're based off of, the custom RA3 there.
Yeah. Dude, it's like seriously the perfect setup for a guitar, for a metal guitar.
I agree. Obviously. But you were saying you don't like that scale lake thing either, right? A lot of people ask me about that. I don't know. I just never really noticed the difference.
Because you said this one doesn't have that, but
I don't know. Maybe it does.
But the actual RA600, it had the slightly shorter scale, and like when I was up here, you know, my fingers are like this because I got like these long fingers.
I want to say that's probably 24.75 as well. Does it feel cramped in? Not as. I mean, it's been a while.
Oh,
yeah, you. Go ahead.
Well, I think yours is actually. I think do you?
This is a 25.5.
Do you have the actual RA?
I do, but it's not tuned to.
I think that was only 22 frets.
No, they're all 24.
Are they?
They're all 24. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Was this the one I was?
How about a little Empty? You remember how to play Empty?
Let me play that.
You want this one? Yeah, that's got one of those Evertunes on there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's been a while. It's been a while. You'll get it back. You'll get it back. Don't worry.
I haven't played in a while.
We're getting it.
Oh my god. It just went to hell right there.
That was pretty good, man. For a long time, you know, I felt good to jam that too. I set up some drums secretly. Why don't we try it? That was better than I was expecting it to be. Let's just see what happens with some drums.
All right.
Hit that space bar, and it's going to be an 8 count.
Oh god. That's when I get put on the spot, and I screwed up.
Oh, okay. I think we need to. This one's all right. Now it should be good to go again. I think. Ready?
Yeah. Go.
Alright.
Yeah, that's where I lost it.
Ah, yeah. That was fun though, man. It's like old times, you know? How's that go? Part's awesome. Something, yeah, I forget.
You're right.
Okay. Best part. No?
Yeah.
One more round of that.
Yeah, probably.
Let's hit it there. that. Yeah, pretty good, man. What I was talking about before,
rusty, but
that little harmony. That's what I was talking about earlier, where I played that, and maybe you or Mark, or something like, hey, that was cool. And I'm like, oh, really? Good. I feel like that was my first contribution to Chimaira.
It's probably me. I don't think he gave that many compliments. Right, Mark? No, I'm just kidding.
Blood for 9, Present Darkness. Those were some of the earliest ones, right? Sphere. Yeah.
All right. No, wait. It's like that fourth one is.
Yeah. Something good.
Something like that.
Not too bad. Jason Hager. A little more double bass. Here we go. Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Or is it?
Check this out, like. Yeah.
That was like one of my signature style of riffs back then.
I like those a lot.
Oh, that and I was heavily influenced by Fear Factory too.
Yeah.
It's pretty apparent. But
I honestly didn't know that, but yeah, it makes sense.
And even that.
Yeah. What else? You wrote that main riff in Dead Inside, right? Chris came up with the sample thing, and then you just started jamming to it, right?
Oh yeah. Because it started out with I think we because it started out with that like.
Oh yeah. Something like that, yeah.
And then fuck.
Yeah.
It.
So, hold on. That's it.
Oh,
1, 4, yeah. How about Malignant? That was the bass part, right? Dun, dun, dun. A lot of people don't know this. You guys, from the self-titled, we have those B-sides, Clayton and Malignant. Those are Ascension songs that Chimaira covered.
That's it's like.
Also, we're in drop, so.
Oh yeah, but it'll be like. I forget what notes were, but it was harmonics. Yeah, because I was messing around that like opening bass thing forever, and then we just messing around with it one day, and then Matt's like,
yeah, cool.
But yeah, I'd have to play it on bass, but it was like whatever harmonics were on the.
Hard to figure out switching instruments from bass to guitar and in a different tuning. But yeah. Matt, about, I don't know, 6 months ago or something, went on this huge like Ascension tear on Instagram, posting all the old flyers. I mean, did you have anything to do with that?
Well, Toy Box re-released the Ascension stuff digitally.
I will link that stuff for you guys either on the screen or below. I recommend you check out Ascension.
I released Use of Fire digitally.
Oh yeah?
Well, the EP.
Cool.
Years of Fire, The Masochists EP. It's like on all the music streaming
I'll look for it. Can I play some of the music in this video?
Yeah.
All right, I have your permission.
You sure
won't
do.
be demonetized?
Am I going to get royalty checks?
Well,
no, yeah.
I don't know. If I do, yeah, I'll break you up.
You're keeping me relevant, money.
Yeah. Good. Keeping me relevant, money, yeah. Good, man. Well, I'm glad we got to jam a little bit. That's awesome. Any other riffs stick out in your mind?
I'm trying to think.
I can't even remember how Blood for 9 went.
I mean, like those are my favorite, mostly because I, wrote those. But I mean, there's some riffs that I didn't write that were like, how do we play that? What is it? How'd it go? Is that how?
Oh, what song is that? I feel like that's super close.
Either Let Go or.
Why does it think? I'm thinking of a W. Yeah, how does? Oh man.
Mark's probably sitting there thinking, "It's not how you play it." Sorry, I'm butchering your riff, buddy.
It's
a sick riff.
It's not that song.
Oh.
Right? Oh, man. Yeah.
I think that was right.
Oh. It's Lend a Hand. Something like that.
Something like that. It's like so hard figuring out those notes now because we used to like tune to like bar that note, so instead of like that, it was like
when I first came,
it was like because it was on the 7th string.
I think they were 6 strings.
We did that at first, but we tuned it all wacky. But when we switched to the 7 strings, you said, well, we should tune it like this because it'll actually be in key. Which, makes sense, but I think the highest were, because we were in drop A, and then I think it was like C sharp and D were the two highest strings.
When I first joined the band, they had the guitars tuned so that the top 2 strings made a bar chord of this. So as Jamie Josta calls them, the alarm clock riffs. You didn't have to do that stretch with your fingers, you could just do a bar chord. Yeah.
Also, because in Dead Inside, with that bar, it was like, when we originally, it was like.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. I'm like, screw that, I'm still bar it.
Yeah. Hey, makes sense. Easier.
I mean, I've just always loved like just really weird sounding notes like that. Whether it's like
Dissonant stuff.
yeah, whether it's that or like
Yeah,
notes like that.
I like
Or
that
like
stuff, too.
what me and Rich Griggs always refer to as the poop chord because it sounds like poop. It's just like
Oh yeah. Totally.
it's so like mean. It's like
I agree.
it makes me
Chimaira
want
would
to
use those all the time.
makes me want to kick a puppy. You know, it's like that's how heavy it is.
The quote right there, kick a puppy. Let's take a good thumbnail shot. All we got to do is stay still. Right? Look up there, you know? At that camera, yeah. What's one more jam we could do for him? One more jam.
What was that?
There's another dissonant. 17 on 5. 19 on 3. 17 on 5.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
is that
How we go? Something like
is
that.
it hard?
It'd sound different on a 7-string.
Yeah. What? I think I wrote that that riff.
I think you probably did too.
Yeah.
I think I was on drums, and you were. That's my memory of writing "Let Go." Is I was on drums and you were doing. No, wait. No, how does that one go?
That Mark wrote that riff.
That's
That
Linda
like-
Hand, I think.
Yeah.
Or are we talking about like how like? Oh. Is it 4? Yeah. I don't know if it's the last note is 3 or 4. Yeah.
What's that one?
Yeah. You can see how it'd be way easier to do with a bar rather than. Man.
Thinking ahead, man.
Yeah, thinking ahead. You're right. You are right.
Play smart, not hard.
That's right. There you go. You heard it here first. It's funny that just we haven't played these riffs in 20 years. That's why we sound like we
I haven't even
suck,
played
you know?
guitar in almost 10 years. So it's like, but messing around with these riffs, it's like, it's like music has always been one of those things where it's just like, it's like I've suffered from like depression, like sometimes crippling depression, like pretty much most of my life. Like, I mean, it started getting worse like in my 20s, but music has always been like that release for me, like, and like I haven't had that in like, 10, 11 years, maybe 12, whenever the last Years of Fire show was, but it's like, I've been wanting to get back into it, but just have not had the motivation, just the drive, but it's like just sitting here just jamming, it's like, damn, I gotta do this again.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't sound like crap.
But it's fun. There's something that brings me back, just going over riffs and everything, It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking A. Well, final thoughts. What's the future of Jason Hager looking like?
Like still just, continue with my tattooing career. And, like I said, it's like I've been wanting to get back into playing, but, just haven't found that like drive, just because, like I said, I've struggled like for most of my life with depression, so I haven't had the music. And so I haven't had the drive to get back into music because of that. So it's like but this is definitely like making me, really want to start doing it again. Like whether I actually do a band or not, I don't know, but I would like to like write, record, and stuff like that. You know, if it turns into anything other than that, then great. If not, great. I mean, I don't know if I'm physically able to jump around on stage like an idiot like I used to, because, you know, the arthritis, degenerative discs in my back and my neck, you know.
Just stand and play. As long as the riffs rule, that's what matters.
Anybody who says that I didn't suffer for my art, I've got some x-rays to prove otherwise.
That's right. You were always wild on stage.
Well, my whole goal, I told you guys, you might not remember, but I told you guys up front, I'm like, this isn't to be mean, but when we're on stage, my focus is to take all the attention off of you guys and have all eyes on me. But after I told you that, like, everybody started to try to have that same mentality, and it just like made our live shows like insane. I mean, sometimes for the wares, because like sometimes I was, you know, I would get so consumed by just like the energy that like, you know, like my playing live suffered, you know, I was sloppy, you know, but
I remember having arguments about that, trying to find the happy medium between the stage show and playing. And
yeah,
playing
I mean, I eventually
stuff, you know?
found that, just like not as soon as you would have liked, but people loved it though, you know. It's just like,
yeah, for sure.
It's like that energy. It's like I always say, you know, it's like, you don't want to go see a band that's like just complete garbage, you know, live, but it's like, you know, if a band doesn't sound as tight as their record, but they're putting on like an insane show, I'd much rather that than a band that sounds just like their album. They're just like standing there like the Beatles or something, you know, like just, it's like, I don't know. I'm there to see a performance, not just hear music, you know? And it's like, I tried to be what I wanted out of a live show, you know? I mean, like early on, like, I mean, like even with like Slipknot, they weren't as tight on stage, but
you didn't notice that because
God,
you just
they were
noticed,
insane.
Yeah, they
you
were
know?
insane.
It's like,
you didn't notice if they weren't tight or not.
Yeah, and it's like that's the kind of mindset that I was always in too. You know, it's like, I'm gonna go off. You know, and it's like, I'm paying for it now. You know, it's like, there are good times, there are bad times, but I mean, definitely like the fondest memories that I have, you know, that aren't, you know, my son related, are definitely in Chimaira. You know, it's just like, you know, even if it was for like, you know, that short period of time, it's like, I got to live that dream that I've always wanted to, that like a ton of people wanted to, you know, and it's like, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I'm sure you'll agree, it like definitely becomes a little harder to attain over time, you know.
Definitely.
One, as you get older.
Young man's game.
Yeah, definitely. And then, I mean, even just like with all the changes in the music industry, like it's, you know. I mean,
it was hard when we did it. It's harder, even harder now.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, like to get that initial deal that we got in Chimaira, like the labels would laugh at us if we wanted that, you know. It's like, but it also like hurt us in the long run because, you know, it's like we didn't make any money off that first album, you know, because we had to recoup all that money. So. Right.
Still,
there's a lot of people, and we were so naive, you know. We're like, we're huge, we're gonna be rich, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. And it's like, fuck, I'm struggling to pay bills.
Didn't you want to just buy an El Camino?
Oh, dude, I still do. 78 El Camino is my favorite car.
78 El Camino.
I can't believe you remembered that.
Well, hey. I thought it was an obscure choice then, and I still do now. But hey, to each their own. I think an El Camino is cool. Especially
I'll take an old muscle car or over like a high-end European sports car any day of the week. Way more character, just way more aggressive.
Character, yeah, that's what you're about. And you are a character, on and off the stage. Pleasure to catch up with you, my man.
Likewise.
Okay. Everybody, thanks for watching. Leave a comment for old Jason below. Let him know what you thought. You got any questions or anything. Don't forget to check out his list of music he thinks you should check out below.
And, you know, if Rob feels like it, he'll put links to, like, you know, where you can get in touch with me in the links too.
Sure will. Go get a tattoo by the legendary Jason Hager. He'd love to have you. I'll leave some links to the Ascension stuff, Years of Fire, all that. What do you say?
I've only done 2 Chimaira tattoos.
He needs to do more.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
You'd think you'd want a Chimaira tattoo from the guy that, you know.
Right. Created the logo.
Exactly.
You know? Got to get some cool. I like guys with Chimaira neck tattoos. That's commitment. You know?
There's a guy that had that but backwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when he looks in the mirror, he could see it?
Yeah, I forget, like, I mean, obviously the guy did it wrong, but I
Oh,
don't know.
boy,
But
don't
I
you
saw
hate
it, I'm
that?
like, oh man. But that was before I started tattooing that I saw that.
Jason promises if you let him do your ink, he won't do it backwards, you know?
I will not.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate the time. See ya on the next one.
Thank you very much.